Kevin's uncle Thomas burst into the meeting at the Whistler Hotel and ordered his men to take Cook, Adriana, and the others hostage. "You've been siding with Kevin against the entire Williams family. Now Grandpa has given me the order for me to take you all back to New York as our guests," Drake asked when he saw Cook and the others being held against their will. Just when Drake was about to lose his temper and stop Thomas, he felt someone touch his shoulder. The man quickly struck Drake in the chest with the palm of his hand, sending him flying, crashing into several tables. Drake shouted at his bodyguards, "Kill him!" Before the men could respond to Drake's order, the man leapt into the middle of them. In a few quick moves, he knocked them all to the floor. Thomas suddenly stopped in the doorway. "Go and tell Kevin that if he cares about these people's lives, he should go back to New York City. Alone. I'll wait for him in the main hall of the Williams mansion." While all this was going on, Dalton Steele was just arriving at the hospital. When he saw Kevin sitting up in his bed, he smiled broadly. "Hey, Kevin, my grandfather, Norman Steele, asked me to invite you to come over to our house." Lily looked at Dalton in shock. "For your grandfather's birthday? Of course I'll go. By the way, I have something very important to tell you. On the 23rd of this month, there will be an important competition, an entrance exam. If you pass it, you can enter the Advanced Herbal Medicine program at the Chicago School for the Natural Healing Arts." "Okay, Dalton, let's talk about this later." "Kevin, why don't you just get out of that bed? Come on over to my house." "Are you really okay?" "I'm fine, Lily. I mean, I was only shot twice." Kevin smiled and slowly got out of bed with some help from Dalton. The three of them left the hospital together, and Dalton drove straight to the Steele family's mansion. Norman Steele was sitting at the head of the table, chatting happily with the guests. Among the many guests, Kevin spotted Tucker, whom he had recently seen at his class reunion. "Kevin, this is my grandfather, Norman Steele. Grandpa, this is my friend Kevin." "It's nice to meet one of my grandson's friends. Have a seat and enjoy yourself." "Thank you, sir." After that, he took Lily over to introduce her to Tucker. "I didn't expect to see the Jones family's infamous lazy son-in-law." "Are you two friends?" "Who would be friends with like him?" Actually, Tucker was mainly there for two reasons. The first was to help his sister give Norman Steele a gift so that she could make a connection with the family and get a job in one of their companies. Second, he wanted to make friends with Dalton. "Haven't you come here with your wife to give Mr. Steele a gift?" "I'm here to offer my sister's gift on her behalf." "Your sister? So then the gift really isn't from you. So what's it to you? You don't even deserve to know her name." Grandpa Steele had been watching all of this from his comfortable chair. He could see a little bit of his younger self in Kevin's appearance. So Grandpa Steele wanted to see what Kevin would do to turn the situation around. "Who exactly is this sister of yours?" "I'll just show you her gift and you'll know what kind of person she is. This is an authentic bust of the Greek god Apollo from over 300 years ago. It's to remind everyone of your eternal reputation, Mr. Steele." The guests were very impressed by this gift, which must have been worth $100,000. Even Dalton walked over to take a closer look. He definitely appreciated the craftsmanship. As Kevin watched, his smile grew wider and wider. "Did you bring anything that's worth this much? How much did you spend on this thing?" $110,000. If this were a real 18th century bust of Apollo, that would be a fair price. Unfortunately, the box is probably worth about as much as your gift. Are you saying that this is a fake? The original bust is actually in Italy. That's the first reason I know it's not authentic. But also, it's probably a plaster cast that was coated in urethane and painted to look like marble. It's certainly not a gift worthy of a distinguished person like Mr. Steele. "You're talking nonsense." He had actually bought it from one of his uncles. Tucker just couldn't believe that his uncle would lie to him. Kevin picked up the bust and dropped it lightly on the table. As everyone watched, the so-called marble bust broke apart into a dusty pile of plaster. The crowd gasped when they saw this. "Even if what you said is true, my intention was to help celebrate Mr. Steele's birthday." "But what about you? Did you come here empty-handed? Hey, who told you I didn't bring any gifts?" Just then, there was a lot of commotion at the mansion's entrance, and someone announced, "Director Lexi Belmont of Williams Media has arrived." Everyone watched Lexi walk into the room. She was carrying a large, bright red gift bag in her hand. "I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Williams. I've brought the gifts that you asked me to prepare. I appreciate your help, and I'm glad that you got here so quickly. Tucker also stared in disbelief. So, Tucker's your brother? Yes, he is. Your brother sure knows how to bully someone. I'm so sorry, Mr. Williams. Sis, why are you apologizing? He's just that useless son-in-law. Before he could say another word, she slapped him in the face. How dare you insult Mr. Williams? I want you to apologize to him immediately. Tucker hesitated. I'm sorry, Mr. Williams, that was wrong of me. Suddenly, Kevin's phone rang. He looked at the unfamiliar caller ID. Hello? May I ask who's calling? Mitchell Cook. President Wright, Emo, and Gilbert were all taken hostage by the Williams family. I was also injured. They're taking them to the Williams mansion in New York. Take care of yourself and leave the rest to me. Kevin hung up the phone. Dalton, do me a favor. Call some of your men and come with me. Randall Williams was sitting in an armchair holding his hand-carved walking stick. Cook, Adriana, Gilbert, and Emo were tied up and sitting on a bench along with Kevin's parents, Alan and Susan. Big brother, do you have any idea how arrogant your son is? Father only wanted to teach him a lesson, but he fought back, causing the family to suffer heavy losses. And he will pay for what he's done. Kevin rushed out of Norman Steele's birthday party as soon as he got the call from Drake. The scene at the Williams mansion was starting to get violent. Alan's nose and mouth were bleeding, and Susan wasn't spared from this either. Just then, the mansion's front door suddenly burst open. Kevin's eyes turned blood red when he saw what they were doing to his parents and friends. Kevin, how dare you come back here? Ethan punched Kevin's father in the stomach. Stop it now. Kevin's hand reached out to grab Ethan by the throat. Kevin grabbed his right hand. Kevin, you've broken my hand. Mom, Dad, are you okay? Kevin asked as he untied their hands and hugged them tightly. Susan fainted immediately, and Alan looked at his son. Kevin, did you do anything to hurt the family? No, Dad. Whatever I did, they're the ones who forced me to do it. Alan faintly passed out. Kevin couldn't tell if his father was alive or dead. Dad! Mom! He shook his parents, but neither of them woke up. What are you shouting about? Your parents deserve to die. Kevin gently lowered his parents to the floor and walked towards Laura. This is the Williams family. If you aren't with us, you're against us. Nothing, huh? Kevin suddenly moved toward her and took her by the arm. Kevin, how dare you hurt my wife? Kevin slapped his uncle right in the face, and it spun Thomas around as he fell to the ground. Then Kevin grabbed his uncle by the throat. 3 years ago, when I bought the shares of Orion Group, all the money I spent was earned through my own hard work. Then you took Laura's advice and kicked me and my parents out of the family without any investigation at all. Did you tell Grandpa about any of that? Under Ethan and Laura's, Williams Media was left an empty shell. If you hadn't given it to me in exchange for my financial help, I'm sure it would have gone bankrupt. Then you took the Williams family's money and joined forces with outside families to attack Williams Media and drive down its stock so that I wouldn't be able to recover from the losses. Even though I said I was going to take back the billions that I lent the family, did I actually come back and demand it? No, other than insulting me. What else have you done? Kevin slapped Thomas hard in the face. Another thing. How dare you? Grandpa Williams snapped. You said that I offended the family. But when did I do anything like that on purpose? Grandpa Williams couldn't say anything in response. Listen up, everyone. Punish him the way we always deal with traitors to the family. A group of men started walking towards Kevin with hideous expressions on their faces. Dalton rushed headlong through the demolished front door. He was leading more than a dozen imposing-looking men. Who the hell are you? How dare you enter our home? Kevin is like a brother to me. My name is Dalton Steele. Dalton, get my parents and the others to the hospital. Grandpa Williams stepped out in front of everyone holding his walking stick. First, you need to go through me. Grandpa Williams raised his walking stick and swung it at Dalton's head. But it was caught before it reached its target. Grandpa, I can't let you make a mistake like this. Kevin didn't want to fight him, but it looked like he had to. Grandpa Williams said as he held his lion-headed walking stick and banged it on the ground forcefully. Grandpa, remember you're starting this, not me. Everyone retreat. Kevin could tell that his grandfather still had a lot of skills. He had spent his entire youth training in the martial arts. Dalton, get my parents out of here. The two of them collided explosively. Soon, the Williams family and Steele's people started fighting with each other. At the same time, Grandpa Williams lifted his walking stick and brought it down in a powerful overhead strike. It just missed Kevin's body. Kevin caught the lion's head carving on the end of the walking stick, but not before Grandpa Williams had struck several of his own family members, knocking them to the ground one after another. The Williams family's best fighters had been beaten up badly by Dalton and his bodyguards. I swear to you, if my father doesn't survive, if anything happens to him, I will bury the entire Williams family with him. I admit that I'm not a match for you, grandfather, but can you guarantee that you'll be able to protect the Williams family forever? Will these people ever be able to step outside of their homes? You, how dare you talk to me like this? He was so furious that his chest was heaving. Kevin turned around and left. Father, are you all right? How dare he attack you, father? Grandfather, 15 of us need to go to the hospital immediately. Then get them to the hospital. While this was going on, Kevin had already arrived at Philip Quinn's private hospital. Under Dr. Willow's skilled care, Alan and the others quickly received the medical attention they needed. Kevin arranged for them to be transferred to a hospital in Chicago once their injuries had been treated. A few hours later, Lily and her mother walked into the hospital where Kevin's parents had been transferred, downtown General. The two of them arrived in Alan and Susan's wing of the hospital, but they were stopped by two men. I'm sorry, but no one is allowed to enter this area.
Hi, Kevin here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of InstaEmpire now with the link in the description.